Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a special Lost Ark comparison video. As you can see behind me, we have some screenshots of a very powerful player who is 1470 gear level. And you might have seen Asmongold's video about the player who spent $15,000 a month. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to compare my free-to-play account with the account that is 1400 in terms of gear level. And what I did over here is I used information that was shared on Reddit, so we don't have all the information, but I used the information and I made some estimations of how much the account spent, what are the stages of the account, and what are the things we should notice. And also what I did over here is I have written some notes after the comparison. I want to show you guys the method that I play the game free to play and what really works for me and what things you should be aware of. Because I think it's very important for us, to understand the mentality of spending a lot in the game, but also be aware there is method that we don't have to spend too much in the game. As you can see over here, I'm one piece of gear away from getting my gear to 1340. So very excited to show you guys what I did and also what are the methods. And the bigger comparison is, what do you really get off by spending this much money in the game? And I think it's really important to look at the numbers and look at the stats and also look at the progression. Because in the end of the day, there is no need to rush in this game. Now, similar to all of the videos, if you want any of my notes, Excel, all the videos I'm talking about, you can find those in the description below with the links. So one of the first thing is, this is actually shared by Kaanoud over here, and this is about whaling, and basically people are saying, oh, this player is very strong. Now, I don't think he's the player that is sharing the image, and think this is a player that just spent a lot of money. And just happen to be, he's also a berserker. So it's really nice to compare my free-to-play berserker and also his pay-to-progress berserker, right? So you can see his item level over here, and you can see his stats are focused on critical and also swiftness, which is what my class wanted. And there's a lot of little numbers I want to share with you guys, like his PvP level, his current battle level, the combat level, and also we can look into his engravings, what engraving he's using, and also we can look into the gems, which is level 7, level 8, and also level 6. So we have all the summary comparisons over here. Now over here, you can see my account. Now currently in this account, I have not spent any money into the game to buy gold or to progress in any form. So I'll show you guys over here. I'm always buying crystals with my gold, and all my history I have been buying crystals with my gold, and this is my method of progressing in the game, and this is to spend in the Mario Secret Shop. So I'm quite proud to say I'm free to play ever since the launch of the game, and I have just been making my gold in my own method. So by looking at the numbers and also stats of my character progression at level, one gear level from 1370, which I'll tell you guys about this very soon, why am I not rushing it? So I want to share you guys with some stats first. And on the second part, we'll look at my secrets and also the methods I'm doing this with. So coming over to the Excel, what you can see is, by my estimation, the player would have spent over $30,000 to $70,000. Now, from the Asmongold video that I learned from my friend, he shared this video with me. So most players who will or spend a lot of money in the game, they can only spend $1,000 USD limit with Amazon. So because right now we're about 40 days into the game, so the highest amount the player could have spent is about $40,000 if they buy from Amazon. But they're saying players could buy from the bots who sells gold, like the private bots who are like real money exchange, and that is not welcome by Amazon, and you can be banned for that. So for the sake of comparison, we assume this player bought from Amazon for about $1,000 each day that is spent into the game, which is the maximum amount. So this can be about $40,000. And as for me, I am honest with you guys, and I'm pretty proud of this. I haven't spent any money into the game ever since the launch. So I did buy the early starter box, but after that, I haven't spent any money into the game. Now, as for the comparison of item level, 1470, I mean, I'm struggling to get 1370 right. This guy's like 100 level ahead of me, so he definitely knows where he's going. And I'm one item away from 1370. So you might be wondering, hey, why aren't you rushing for this? Because I think this is a really good time to make a video about it. It's not that I don't have the resource. I have been trading a lot of resources, you can see in our past videos. Some of those have been sold, some of those haven't been sold. So my net worth is about $500,000 in gold in terms of those resources, but I'm still trying to sell them for a higher price. So if I do come into the homing section, and if I wanted to home this gear, I have enough resource. But I don't want to use my tradable resources because I can sell my lipstones for gold. I almost never use my tradable lipstones. I'm waiting for my next daily reset to get more untradable lipstones to progress into the next level. Now on the second part of the video, I also explain why I never use my lipstones and also how this is a massive saving for me in the game with upgrading my gears. Now the next comparison is pretty straightforward. We'll be looking at how many max level engraving skill he's got, and also he also have the correct stats, which is going to be critical and also swiftness. So you can see he's got 4 of the best ones for Berserker, Mayhem, Grudge, Master's Tenacity, and also Cursed Door. And for me, on the other hand, I'm planning to get into Cursed Door soon, and maybe even Grudge, but I will stay on Mayhem and also Master Tenacity. And I'll probably let go of Raid Captain because I don't have much swiftness. As some of our viewer pointed, my stats everywhere. It's really bad, I know. So this part, I'm super noob. And you can see the comparison. He's 3333, I'm only 333, and my stats are not great. So I'm really weak on this part, but it's okay. I do like half of his damage, right? But I don't mind. In the raid, we just take 5 more minutes, right? Now one thing is quite interesting on the next comparison. It's going to be the combat level. If you look at our friend over here, you can see that his combat level is 53.72. And if you come into the game and look at my combat level, I'm at 53.74. Hey, this one stat, I'm beating him. Now you might be like, hey man, you play a lot, that's why you're beating him. Well, to be honest with you guys, I actually spent not that much time playing the game itself. I actually spent hours in making videos and trying to find guides and try to, build Excel for us, because you can see all the crazy Excels we have with the graphs and also more Excels with the graphs, right? So I actually spent maximum about 2 to 4 hours a day playing the game, and this is one of the reasons I haven't got to level 54 yet. I have seen some guildmates and also some friends is already at level 54, I believe. So I am beating him a little bit just by spending 2 to 4 hours a day playing. So it seems like our pay-to-win friend is not grinding the chaos dungeons as often as I do. I'll share you guys with my grinding method, because I also, it's very tiring to grind the chaos dungeons. So I set myself to grind this every day for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I'll just stop. Or maybe I can do a little more. So it's optional for me. And just by doing the chaos dungeon every day for 30 or hour, so this way I am a little ahead of him in combat level, which means I can get my skill point a little earlier. Now, one of the other stats I'm winning slightly is going to be PvP. I do believe PvP goes from grade 20 and it goes downwards or the other way around, but once you get to the higher grade, your grade actually becomes tier 1. So I'm currently on tier 1. So yeah, from rank 20 to rank 1. Of the way it works. So I do think I'm a little ahead on PvP, but to be honest, I'm only playing PvP for my weekly quest, so it's not really nothing to be bragged about. I get carried by people all the time because I'm typing my notes and making my Excel as I do my PvP, and I usually do the team PvP, so I get my captains and everyone to fight, and with my goal, it's like, oh gosh, I'm so terrible, guys. So in PvP, we're a little ahead. Now the next comparison we have are going to be the gems. You can see our friend here have level 6, level 7, or even level 8 gems. And if you come over to me, I have been selling all my gems into the auction house to make gold. And I'm also missing one because I fused my gems to level 4 and it turns out it wasn't the right one I wanted. I was like, ah, damn. So I can put the red dust in because I don't need red dust damage, right? So basically my gems are level 3 and level 4. I just make do with my gems because I have been selling my gems into the auction house, and I'll show you guys the trade history over here. See, just by selling the level 5 gems, I'm making 8,000 gold in sales, and I think it's very, very expensive to get the gems to level 7 or level 8. Let's just have a look. I haven't even searched for that. So let's go gems, let's go tier 3, and let's go for legendary. I think it's going to be expensive. Yeah. So each of his gems, the bad ones are like 54,000 gold. The good ones can be anywhere from 10,000 gold if they have the right stats, like, the sword storm and also the skills berserkers want. So my gems are budget gems and they're very cheap. But his gems, look, if you look at the damage, it's 21% damage. And if you look at my damage, I just want to show you the damage difference. My damage is about 12% and 9%. So the difference is quite there. It's about 10% difference or maybe 11% difference between the two gems, but the cost of those gems, I think those are close to 1 million gold in terms of gems just alone. My gems are like 300 gold, or maybe they're 10,000 gold. So actually, I don't think they're even 10,000 gold. Maybe they're 10,000 gold. So this is a big comparison in terms of gems, and he does have higher damage than me this way, of course. Now, finally, I did some gold estimations. Over here, I'm saying our friend who is been earning gold by spending money into the game. And here I'm trying to play the game and earn gold myself. So at the moment, I'm estimating I can earn about 15,000 or 20,000 gold a day, which is I'm really happy about. And I'm at tier 3. I only run one auto account. I'm trying to get that to tier 3 as well. And our friend can buy into the gold for about 43,000 gold every day by spending $10,000. So he is way ahead of me, and I do think using this estimate, since we have about 40 days into the game, he would have gotten, or he would have used about 15 million gold to get to the state where he is. So this is just an estimate because we don't know exactly what he did. So I'm using my Excel data, using the macro trend, and also using the price of items to do a general estimation. And for me personally, I think from tier 1 to tier 3, in total, I would have spent about 150,000 or 200,000 gold to get to the stage where I am right now. So in total, to get to tier 3, 1,370, I would have spent about 200,000 gold in total from tier 1. So this might seem a lot, but over the time, if you do make 15 or 20,000 gold a day, or even 10,000 gold a day, this might just take us 20 days or 25 days. So what I'll do is, on the next part, I'll explain to you guys the details of how to do this as well. So coming over to the next part, hopefully you guys are seeing that I'm not trying to compare the pay-to-win player to promote to spin into the game, and also I'm not trying to brag that I don't spend money into the game, but what I want to do is I want to give you guys the numbers, the comparisons, so you are less willing to spend this much money into the game. Because I remember from listening to Asmongon's video about the player who actually got mentally broken down and it becomes like an addiction, like a gambling thing for him. Like he didn't know he would spend this much money into it. So if you guys are more mentally prepared, it's less chance of you spending way too much into this game. It is free to play, but it has some very interesting gambling mechanics like the homing that you really have to be aware. Now the first thing I want to share with you guys to take away is there is no race. We're here to play the game to have fun. You know, people will get to higher tier than me, and I just show you guys in my guild here. I do have guildmates who are higher than me, and you know, our friend Bo is like 1385, and also Jax is 1771, and there's also, you know, players who's 1385. So there's a lot of players who are higher in gear score than me, and I take my own pace. I'm not here to rush, not here to compete with everyone. And also it is very important to understand in this game, we want to save up some gold early, because the game is amazingly designed with many methods in mind to make gold. And the downside of this is, if you only limit yourself with one method of just doing your dailies and also just doing the basic dungeons, you're not trying the other method, you might be slowed down with progression. Because if everyone's doing this, then you'll be, you know, behind the crowd, right? So here I have listed a number of ways to get more gold into the game. And if you guys are interested, I can add some guide videos of links to those. Currently, we're still waiting for PvP. But as you play PvP with Season 1, you can notice that you start to get PvP coins. Let me see if I can find my PvP coins. It's somewhere over here, because I got a few hundred of just doing PvP this week. Can't find them right away. But yes, the PvP exchange shop will give us more resource, which I'm also waiting for as well. Now you might have seen our video about farming a month, and this month currently sells about 400,000 in the game, and it takes about 40 hours to farm for that. So I'll show you guys the month over here. During my recording of that video, the month was selling for close to 1 million gold, and notice that even now it sells for a lot. So before it was selling for 800,000 gold, now it has fallen to 400,000 gold. This is because the skins and our mortal month has been falling, and there's a lot of way to farm different items in the game. If you guys are still interested, I'll have the link for the month farming for you guys as well. We also have a lot of market trading videos, so we don't have to talk about too much of that, but I can make a link for that as well. Now, other ways of making gold, including stronghold crafting materials. So what I mean by that is, I have heard some viewers who are invested into stronghold crafting. They have been crafting the simple fusion materials, and if you look into the game, those are crafted by stronghold, and those sells for 11 gold and 13 gold and also 7 gold each. So players who are invested into that are making some really good gold as well, because they, you know, have a market trend, and also they buy the supply materials for much cheaper. Now we have also talking about other ways of selling and also buying golden maps, and also carry other people for raid bosses, collecting different, you know, collection rewards, and also selling valuable items which you loot at tier 3. So what I mean by valuable items at tier 3 is in the auction house. In the auction house, I always recommend selling the stones or the gems, because I think they will fall in price as more players becomes tier 3. So that's why I have been selling those. And you can also see I have been selling some of the valuable items. Very soon I'll make Excel, or we have an existing Excel with a friend I'm working with, which Apex has been looking into that as well. So very soon we'll look into sharing with Excel to calculate the market price of your items. So this makes it much easier for you to list your price of items. Now coming over to the final part of the video, how do I save and also make so much gold? One of the rule of thumb I give to myself is never buy lipstones until I really need to, I really want away from plus 15. And even for today, I am not rushing to buy lipstones because you can see that lipstones are currently selling for, I think it's selling for 300 gold each. And for me, estimated, if I were to get this gear to, currently I failed once, I need to fail about 6 or 7 times to get it going if I don't use my radar materials. I have a lot of radar materials, but I'm trading with those. Those are all tradable ones. So if you notice over here, the tradable ones, I'm planning to sell them. I'm not planning to use them. If you're wondering why, we have Excel calculations and also guides to show you that it is much cheaper to buy the materials like Guardian Stones I actually bought. I actually spent a lot of money to buy those, a lot of gold. And also I bought the fusion materials. I don't buy the lipstones. The biggest reason is this keeps me in check and this keeps me free to play because I get a lot of lipstones by doing my dailies and also doing my weeklies. You know, for example, over here, you can see doing one of the weeklies for the boss rush, you get 11 lipstone. The second boss rush will give you 8 lipstones, and those are untradeable lipstones you can get each day. And over here, you can see with my Unis task, I usually get 4 of those. So 3 of those from the highest lipstones ones, you know, I think we all know that. I just want to share you guys the other one I get. So right now, with the Grand Packs, we are getting the Unis task daily. And also, I have been buying my Unis task dailies from the Mario Secret Shop. And also, I'm buying the gem box and selling them for like a spare change. We'll talk about it in the other videos. So I'll show you guys over here. I've been buying the task daily, and this gives me 4 extra lipstones. So this is a much discounted version of lipstone. I think current rate of pricing with gems in my server is about 716 for 95. So if we count about this, so that particular voucher is about, that particular voucher is 50 gems. Let's just say this is about 400 gold worth. So for 400 gold, I get 4 lipstones. So for each lipstones I get this way, I'm actually paying about 100 gold for the lipstones, just having one of those vouchers. So basically I do 1 extra daily task. And that's the only form I buy lipstones other than the Mario Secret Shop, which is sell for like really cheap, right? 10 for 20 crystals. Now, because I'm always looking for ways to make more gold, I really recommend you guys trying out the Market Trend Excel and also the Home Excel. One of them will make you a lot of gold. The other one will save you a lot of gold. Also, we'll have Excels to give you the best value for KS Shop Exchange and also the best items to buy in the Mario Secret Shop. Because I actually stopped buying all the items in the Mario Secret Shop. I mean, I'm still buying them, but what I want to show you is the items I don't buy anymore. So for example, I don't buy the Destruction Stone anymore. Not only my weapons plus 15, it is also not worth it because the market price is much lower. And by using the Mario Secret Shop Excel, this will tell you in your server your price of gold to crystals and the price of market price, is it worth it to buy and how much gold do you save. And finally, I often mention about selling my tradable materials. And what I do is I also trade with the tradable materials. So those are the materials over here. You can see those are all tradable ones. So what I do is I find a trend to sell them because I know that as more players become tier 3, those prices will fall. And I mean, the only thing that's not falling is going to be the greater honor stones because players are becoming higher levels and need those. So what I tend to do is I try to not sell the loot I get from my dailies. I mean, it's okay if you miss 1 or 2 because we still have life going on, right? You know, some of us have work, some of us family, and also friends. It is very, very important to not sell your loot from those events right away because every other player will be doing the same. And because there's so much supply, you're actually selling your items for 20% lower. Wait a little bit and also look at previous market trend video. I can sell my items for 30% higher for the same items because, you know, if I wait 10 hours or if I wait a day, I actually sell them for higher. So it's very important to know the trend and to know when to sell your daily items. And this is one of the reasons I can go from 15,000 gold a day in making my income of gold. So it's quite important to understand that as well. And finally, just to finish, I do think the game is playable free to play. And just to be honest with you guys, I actually do spend about 2 to 4 hours a day playing the game because I'm actually not working on my auto accounts as much. You can see over here with my auto account, the only one account is 1000. Everything else is very slowly progressing. So I actually don't have time to play with them because I make so many videos and make lots of Excels, right? So what I want to take away is there is also other method in getting more items free to play in the game. I have heard players who have been grinding for hours into the chaos dungeons and this gives them a lot of loot. Personally, I try to grind it for 1 to 3 hours a day. It is very tiring, very boring. So what I tell myself is just spend 30 minutes playing the chaos dungeon. I have a bit of fun because my berserker is really fast and although I don't do as much damage as the very rich friend, we still do pretty hard. So I usually tell myself, just play 30 minutes a day. After that, if you want to play more, go for it. If you don't want to play more, it's okay. So over the week, I spent about 3 to 4 hours doing my chaos grind. And just by doing that, my combat level is already higher than his, right? So my combat level here is 53.74, which is I'm slowly getting to level 54 as well. So that's not bad as well. Now, hopefully you guys like this video, because I do want to give you guys more comparisons to see the difference between a very expensive account and also my low spending or free-to-play account. I really did not spend any money into the game after the launch of the game, so I did buy the early access. And yeah, hopefully you find those notes helpful, and I'll be adding guides and also notes and also videos into these notes. So if you want those guides and also tips, make sure you click into the Google Docs for the links to those other videos that we have made about those to give you more detailed explanation, and also make sure you check out those Excels. We've been working very hard on those and they're super good. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you do so, because we'll be getting a lot of guides, a lot of tips as I discover them, and I love the game. So I want to share as much as I can with you guys, and let's have a great time in Lost Ark as we explore this game and get the most out of it.